Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now today I want to compare two cameras. I'm not a big fan of camera comparisons, but I'm comparing these two for two fundamental reasons. Firstly, I own both of them, and secondly, they're sold at pretty much exactly the same price. And I think one really does outshine the other, and I wasn't expecting that. The two cameras we're looking at is a Panasonic Lumix S9 that I have here, and this is a 24 megapixel full frame camera with IBIS built into the camera, and the other one is the Sony ZV-E10 II that I have here, and I've actually got this with a small rig cage. Well, it's not a cage, it's a little hand grip on the bottom of it just to make it a little bit bigger. And this is a really lovely little camera, 26 megapixel APS-C E-mount camera, where the Panasonic obviously is L-mount. And I'm looking at these two because they're both sold with their kit lens for about £1,000. And the kit lens that comes with the Panasonic is the 20 to 60 kit lens. It's a bit big actually to be sold as part of a kit with a Panasonic, but for under £1,000, £999, and in fact Wex Photographic here in the UK had an offer on of another £100 off. So for £900 you've got an amazing kit, and it comes with a 20 to 60. I think 20 is ideal because that's quite a wide, for a kit lens that's really wide, and the image quality from this kit lens is outstanding. Probably the best kit lens ever made, I reckon. It does produce professional results with this kit lens. Now, I just want to go through these two cameras very briefly as to why you might want to choose one over the other. Now, the Panasonic camera, I think, really does outshine the ZV-E10 II in so many ways now. The camera has the 24 megapixel sensor that the S5 Mark II, the S5 IIX has, but it also has in-body image stabilization in this camera, where the ZV-E10 Mark II has no image stabilization in this camera whatsoever. You're reliant on image stabilized lenses to use with this camera, and the kit lens has actually got image stabilization in the lens, so that's not so bad. But this camera does have image stabilization in the camera. Neither of them have electronic shutters. They both, have mechanical shutters, electronic shutters. They both only have an electronic shutter. So using flash with them is very difficult. With a Panasonic, you can't use flash with a Panasonic whatsoever. But with the Sony, you can use flash, but it's limited to, I think it's 1/30th or 1/60th sync speed. Really slow sync speed. So it isn't perfect, but it has got a hot shoe on the top there if you do want to use flash. The Panasonic has no hot shoe, it's a cold shoe, just for mounting microphones or for lights or what have you. Both cameras shoot 10-bit video recording, and they both have quite extensive video codecs in the camera, but the Panasonic has more because it has 6K open gate video recording, where the Sony doesn't have any open gate video recording whatsoever. So if you're doing a lot of content and you're doing content for the likes of TikTok, YouTube Shorts, then you may find the Panasonic better because it has that 6K open gate video recording. They both have mic jacks. The Panasonic has a mic jack above the screen, so it doesn't actually obscure the screen, which is great. So that has a mic jack, but the benefit with the Sony, it has the mic and headphone jack, where the Panasonic only has a mic jack, but the Sony does have a mic and headphone jack, although I monitor the audio using the receiver from the microphone. I'm using DJI mics, I use many mics, but I'm using DJI mics at the moment. They're wireless mics, and the receivers have a headphone jack, so you can plug your headphones into the microphone receiver, although that doesn't indicate that it is actually recording on the camera perfectly. But as long as you've got a good cable connection between the receiver and the camera, you've got no problem. The Sony does have its Sony multi-interface shoe, so you can fit on here Sony microphones, the XLR adapter, and that works great. You don't need to use cables. The Panasonic has no hot shoe connection whatsoever with the camera, so you can't use a Panasonic XLR adapter, and you can't use any other microphones that have a cable connection, have a connection straight to the camera. You have to use microphones that have a cable connection to the camera, so that's a bit of a downside here. The Panasonic S9 has a full frame sensor crammed into this tiny little body, 24 megapixel full frame sensor, where the Sony ZV-E10 II has the 26 megapixel APS-C sensor in here, and it isn't stabilized. Both cameras have phase detect autofocus points. The Sony has human and animal detect, which is the main ones you would want, but the Panasonic one has quite a wide selection actually of phase detect autofocus points. I've got a little function button set up on the back here for going to it, and on there I've got human, animal, we've got human, animal, car, motorcycle, train, and airplane. So you've got a whole wide range of detection points on the Panasonic, which are lacking on the Sony. But the main ones are on the Sony, which is human and animal, body and eye detect. The grip on the ZV-E10 II is better than it is on the Panasonic. It's got a lovely grip on the ZV-E10 II, and it's a bit lighter as well. The camera is a little bit lighter than the Panasonic. With the Panasonic, you really do need to buy a third-party grip. They're not expensive. I bought this third-party grip off Amazon. I will leave links in the description of this video, but you need that because there is no grip at all on the front of the camera. It's got a thumb grip on the back, but there's nothing on the front. So you do need to buy a grip really for the Panasonic camera. You don't need to for the Sony camera. They both only have one UHS 2 card slot. The Panasonic one is in the battery compartment. That's pretty common for so many cameras. A little bit annoying when you got it on a tripod trying to get the card out. But the Sony one, they repositioned it to the side of the camera. It's still only got the one card slot, but it's on the side of the camera, which is great if you're doing content and you've got it on a grip or you've got it on a tripod. So I do like the positioning of the SD card on the Sony. I'm not keen on it on the Panasonic, but it's not a deal breaker. So there we go. That's the main differences between the Panasonic S9 and the Sony ZV-E10 II. The Panasonic is a full frame camera with IBIS built in, so you can get really slow shutter speeds and still get sharp images, where the ZV-E10 II is an APS-C sensor with no image stabilization. One of the big advantages with the Sony though is the lens mount, the E-mount. You can get many third-party lenses for the E-mount, and they're fantastic value for money as well if you want the cheaper lenses and still get great quality. So that might be a swaying factor to go for the Sony E-mount system, whereby the Panasonic L mount, there are quite a few lenses for the L mount, but they're not as good value as what they are for the E-mount. But I still think the Panasonic S9 represents amazing value for money for what you're getting for under £1,000. I mean, it's brilliant, and I'm really glad that I got it, and I can highly recommend it. The fact that it talks to me mobile phone perfectly is brilliant as well, where the Sony app isn't so good, nowhere near as good as what the Panasonic app is. So let's have a quick look at a few images I've taken with these two cameras. Now I actually stuck the Sony ZV-E10 lens on my ZV-E10 II because that gives a very similar field of view to the Panasonic 18-40 lens on, because that's ultra wide to wide. So when we're looking at these comparisons, you can see it's much better as compared like for like. But you're spending more money because you've got to buy another lens where you don't need to with the Panasonic. So the Sony then works out more expensive. But if we have a quick look at a couple of images here, let's not go into any detail, but let's have a look at a couple of images here. So you can see on the left is a Sony, on the right is the Panasonic. And, you know, the sharpness, the clarity is very similar. I think the colours from the Sony may look a bit better, but I've got it set to auto white balance, so it's just snapping away really. But regardless of what we look at, you're going to get very similar results between the two. If you're doing portraits, of course, the full frame sensor is actually going to be better. But again, looking at here, Sony and Panasonic, really nice clarity, really nice sharpness. Both sensors are just so good on these two cameras. So from an image quality point of view, you're not going to be disappointed with whichever camera you buy. Although I would say the Panasonic is going to be better in low light. If we look at an image I took, where is it? This one here. This is quite a good comparison. This one, oh, let's go wide. One on the left is a Sony, one on the right is the Panasonic. Now, this is a good comparison because that's quite a dark area of the garden, and there's more noise in the shadows on the Sony, a lower ISO than there is on the Panasonic, which had a higher ISO. But you can see here the shadow detail is much better on the full frame sensor than what it is on the Sony APS-C sensor. Although with noise reduction software, you're going to get very similar results. But I'm saying, take a look at these images on Flickr. You'll be able to see that better than you can on YouTube because of YouTube's compression. So in low light, the full frame sensor is definitely going to be the winner, without a doubt. But general images, they're both going to produce great results. You're going to be very happy with them. Just be conscious with the Sony, as it has no in-body image stabilization in the camera, and if a lens doesn't have it, like this power zoom lens has no image stabilization in the lens, you just may need to set a faster shutter speed, and in low light that is going to cause you issues purely because you're going to increase the ISO. Yeah, image quality is great on both cameras. But the biggest advantage with a Panasonic is its in-body image stabilization. I think is brilliant. Its video codecs, its 6K open gate, and you know, I just love the form factor of it. So there we go. That's a quick comparison between the ZV-E10 Mark II and the Panasonic S9. So there we go. Hope you found that video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of my videos. Would really appreciate that. And remember to share it if you think other people may find this video useful. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.